Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, Denver Broncos. Let's go on to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos finished 10-7 last year. One of maybe more of the surprising results. I think I wanted I had the notes of our last year predictions to the side, and I'm pretty sure that some of us picked the Broncos as a dark horse, meaning I think I did. I wanted to double check, but I didn't. I'm not gonna claim it because I didn't double check. But anyway, they were 19th in offense, 20th in passing, 16th in the run offense, and then they were third in scoring defense last year. So what was your favorite move that they made this offseason?
Let's see. Favorite move. I do like them getting a tight end. I don't know if Ingram is going to be if he's just a journeyman or whatever, but if Peyton knows how to use a tight end of his at least perceived caliber, I think he's going to get better use in Denver than he will have in Jacksonville or New York.
Yeah, the first year he was Ingram was in Jacksonville, he did really good. I think he had over 1,000 yards. And then last year it was just a mess. He just couldn't do it
Yeah.
again. But that whole team was a mess, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah,
So,
right.
um, yeah, I have Ingram as well. Because Bo Nix, being a young quarterback still, his favorite weapon's going to be like a safety blanket. I think Ingram's kind of like the perfect safety blanket. So he'll have Sutton, Ingram, and I like that move overall for the Broncos to build around their young quarterback, give him some good weapons.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was your least favorite move they made?
It didn't seem like that they made a big splash in the draft. But I mean, they did get some aged free agents. So I may apparently in their thought process is they've got a good core and they just needed to add a few little pieces. I I guess I don't agree with Broncos management, but you know, that's my least favorite thing they did. They didn't, you know, try to draft something somebody that's gonna help them long term, not just this year.
Yeah, that's the one thing is so I have like running back down. Now running back, if you're gonna have like one position group where you're weak at, running back's probably the best one because your offensive line can make running backs good. And I think it's more important in today's NFL to have skilled pass catchers. But Dobbins is fine. I think he averaged like 4.6 yards a carry last year, but he only played, I don't think he got to 17 games. He got like 13. And if you look at his game log, it's kind of his MO as he misses games, so he's not
Right,
reliable. So they didn't do. I mean, I don't like that. They're relying on him as their number one back, although they did draft that running back. And also, they got Sutton and Ingram, but if one of those goes down, one of those two players goes down, it's going to get ugly quick for the
right,
the Broncos.
right.
So again, just the lack of skilled position players. I like that they went and got Ingram, but the other skilled position players I don't totally trust. I think their defense is going to be fine. Um, it really just comes down to their skill position players around Sutton and Ingram.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is kind of with football in general, aged, which is younger than you and I,
Yes.
aged football players, man, I mean, if they go down halfway in the season, then you're scrambling to plug holes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's putting a lot on, at least from the outside looking at it, is the Broncos putting a lot on some of these free agents they signed that, um, I mean, I guess it's a low risk, high reward type situation, but still.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, it's not like again, if this is my nitpick on them, it's not that bad of one.
Right,
Right.
right.
So kind of with that, let's go to our green flags. What was your green flag for the going into the season? The biggest green flag for the
You're going to
Broncos.
find this, you may find this funny. My biggest green flag for the Denver Broncos is that they got a new special teams coach.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. I like it.
Uh, I mean, one of my favorite games of all of last year was a block field goal to win.
Hmm.
And apparently the Chiefs had identified that weeks in advance that
Yep.
they could exploit that. And apparently other teams had done the same thing. And so like uh, probably was a nice guy, but he was the first one to go the day after the season. And so it was a big, I mean, you can't lose games in the NFL by special teams.
Right.
I mean, the Chiefs live on winning games by special teams, not just blocking kicks. That's crazy. But you know, Butker is kicking game-winning field goals, or whoever they kicked. They had three different ones that last year that kicked game winners. You can't lose games. That's the difference between making the playoffs and not. So I think that's the biggest green flag is apparently it's a coach that Peyton had in New Orleans and is considered one of the better ones. So good for them.
Yeah, yeah, good call. I like that you went a little deep there. Like I didn't even think of the special teams. But you're right, they had a lot of blunders last year, cost
Just
them a couple games. So
I yeah, I still watch that game every so often, just the end of that, and it's just hearing Kevin Harlan yell blocked. It just watching it live, it was just, are you kidding me?
yeah, yeah, crazy. My green flag, really twofold. No big loss. They didn't lose anybody. So their foundation's still there, and maybe that's why like they didn't do an all-in move, like go after another wide receiver or running back or whatever, because they're like patiently growing this, which might be the best way to do it, right? Like let's give
Yeah,
Nix another year. He was a rookie last year, right? So like
right,
let's get another year under the belt. We're not gonna rush. We're building something for the future. So they didn't make any crazy moves, but they also had no big loss. They didn't lose anybody. So the foundation is there. It's continuing to be there. Sean Payton's really building something that can last, and I like that. So that's really my green flag is basically they're just letting Bo Nix grow. They're adding a little bit to help him. So I don't think like next year is like oh Super Bowl or bust or playoff or bust. I think
right.
it's like let's grow this team and build something for the future, unlike maybe another team we'll talk about in a second here.
No, that's a that's a good one because, as you know, I mean, after the debacle that they had before, I mean, they that team needed to be gutted. So it makes sense that
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I really like how Peyton's handling this. Okay, red flag. What's your red flag for the Broncos?
I'll hit you some with the stat. 40% of rookie quarterbacks have a sophomore slump.
Hmm.
And so, uh, defensive coordinators, good ones, have been watching Bo Nix tape probably all winter. So, not that that's a bad thing, and just like you were just saying, to go right after what you just said about growing something, they're going to expect that anyway. So, uh, that may be Bo Nix. They may have to simplify the offense down to something. They may have to run more um, to help him get through that sophomore year. I don't know if really any even great quarterbacks, whether it's Patrick or Lamar, Josh Allen had great sophomore years. So I think that's the red flag. It's not a bad red flag when you put it how you did about thinking of, in year 3, 4, but it's going to affect this year, I do believe.
Yeah, no, and we're talking mainly about going into this season, so that's a good one. Weapons, we already talked about. We don't have to belabor the point, but I just think once if you lose Ingram or Sutton, it's going to get ugly real fast. I don't like that, and I think the best way to protect a young quarterback is a run game. I don't know how much we can trust the run game. They were 16th in running offense last year, and I just don't know about Dobbins.
That's actually higher than what I would have ever guessed
Yeah.
what their running
Well,
offense was last year.
yeah, I do wonder, like, is it included with like quarterback running? Because obviously that would make, Bo Nix
Yeah,
can run a little bit. So,
must
um,
be.
yeah, and then I put division. Being in this division is just for them, you're looking up at the Chiefs and you're looking kind of up, not as up, but you're looking up at the Chargers as well right now.
Right.
So they're both, but that's why I like what they're doing. They're like, look at who we got to compete against. We're not in any rush. Let's take it. It seems like it to me. Let's take it a little slow. Let Bo Nix grow. but it is a little red flag going into the season because that means getting to the playoffs or getting above the number 2 in the division is just going to be a tough road for them.
Be tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fantasy football go to for the Broncos.
Again, I'm going completely, out into left field. I think if you're going to have to draft a Bronco, draft their defense.
Okay, I like it.
I mean, I look at the rest of the team and I'm like, I mean, unless you're in a really deep league or something, but I think their defense could get you some points week after week. Hopefully the special teams is taken care of, but I think their defense, I think across the board out of the 32, it would be probably one of the top 3 or 4 to get in round 12, 13 or whatever we start drafting defenses.
Yeah, I like it. I put Ingram. I don't think he'll cost that much. I haven't looked at average draft positions, to be
I
honest with
haven't
you.
looked at it either.
But I don't think people will think of him as that high. He might be like a sneaky pickup later rounds. Like, don't spend early on a tight end if you don't get one of the good tight ends early. Maybe one you can get a lot later. And then I had another. Dobbins. I don't think Dobbins is going to get picked up early either. I think he'll be a
He
later
might be a
pick.
free agent,
Right.
depending on how deep your league is.
Right. I just think if you can have a potential starting running back on your roster, you get it. It's a flyer. So those two are kind of like sneaky pickups to me. Predictions. Let's do a prediction here. I have the let's see, over under at 9.5. 9.5 is their over under. So what say you, Travis?
I was going to say 9 and 8,
Okay.
and I solely say 9 and 8, depending on how well they do in the division with the Chargers, because I think those 2 games will, I think, control that number between the two.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're either both going to end up 10-7, or one will end up 11-6, and the other one 9-8. And I'm going to say the Broncos as well. I have them finishing 9-8. And here's the other thing: I think the Chargers and the Broncos, didn't they both make the playoffs last year? Am I right about that?
Did the Broncos make the playoffs? I know the Chargers did.
Let me look real quick. Yeah, they were in the playoffs. Yeah. So usually there's a turnover of what, 6 teams a year. And I just think that 3 teams out of this division made it last year, and I think only 2 will make it this year. My early predictions, don't hold me to it. We will have a big preview podcast like we do every year, so we'll see what happens there. But so I have them 9-8.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for the last team? Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.